we return you all as the party back into the adventure here. Would anybody like to recap what happened last session?
Trying to remember what happened at the beginning of the session. No, the whole session was just combat, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah.
We fought some light zone ultra nationalist.
Nazis.
Very-
We fought Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came up with the name. They're the Janazis.
Oh yeah.
Boo.
Wait, wouldn't that imply that they were Genasi in the first place, or?
Yeah, they're Nazis against Janazis. So just
But-
Janazis.
But the
Like,
Nazis
right, there's
didn't-
Janasi and then there's Janat-si.
But the yeah. Oh sure.
How many boos till we booed him out?
We beat them
Oh, it's
up.
gonna take
we
more than
really
that.
gave him the
I know.
1-2. We also insulted them harshly.
Right to their face.
Yeah.
Wombry made
kind of
someone
brave.
cry.
Made somebody pee their pants. Threw pee on person who peed their pants. Threw grease on person who had pee on them.
That's
And
not
then also let
okay.
that person.
Threw fire on person who had grease on pee on
Yeah.
himself.
It was a bad day to be that guy.
It was a really bad day.
And the green grass grows all around. And
but I
around, and
mean-
the green grass grows all around.
I mean, it was bad for him, good for us for burning a Nazi with grease. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
they
the
had
authorities
those-
can help us get
They
some
had those
compensation.
knives too that I very much did not like.
Oh yes, that's
They're
right. I picked
spooky.
one up.
I hate you.
We also, I'm pretty sure, saved all the civilians.
We did. And
Thank you.
then we were given a reward of 50 gold, which yet we have not split up yet.
I believe, didn't we throw it in a party loot situation?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, did we? I missed that part. I heard that we got 50 gold, and then that was it.
Yeah, we got the folder in the character tab.
Oh, okay.
Or
Alright, who's holding the 50 gold? Hold on.
Kita is.
I mean, I do
Kita
have.
seems responsible. Kita gets to keep the party loot.
Excellent.
I do have
Got
a
it.
Does
goblin
not
accountant
seem
walking
responsible
behind me.
at all.
I have literal goblin accountants.
Okay, of the standoffish king who would probably just claim it as his own gold, the
Oh,
kind
no,
of sketchy
tax
goblin cook
It's a tax deduction.
Oh my god.
and he gets pegged.
If I get too excited, I would
Oh.
just light up like a Christmas tree, all electrifying, so you'd be able to tell I was pocketing it.
Except you're always lit up like a Christmas tree.
There's a difference. You would know if you paid attention. Different zaps for different feels.
Understandable.
Is that like by voltage? Like each different like range of voltage is a different emotion?
Just sure. We'll go with that. At least
I
I'm not
walked
grounded.
downstairs for something.
But
I
yes,
walked
long
downstairs.
story short,
Yes.
we bonked some dudes and
There we go.
punched Nazis in
A little
faces.
puff poison in the face.
Oh yeah, lots of poison too. We really fucking just absolutely zonked
No.
these Nazis.
Was that-
Fucking mercy.
As we should.
Give him the bonk.
That's pretty good. Alrighty, so yeah, you all did all manner of things to prevent these guys from kind of fulfilling whatever agenda that they were going for here, assisting Mirigan in dispatching them. And so now, as the dust settles in the battle, and you kind of are given an initial gift, Mirigan has extended his hand and invited you all to join him for a lovely meal at last.
About time!
So as you all accompany him into the restaurant area here,
Kita too, as we're walking in, like, she looked like a hot mess after that whole thing. She's like brushing off her clothes, putting a little electricity back to get her hair just right. She's like, shit.
Excuse me, but shouldn't we get you medical attention? You were just stabbed. Oh, I mean, he kind of gestures towards everybody who got stabbed. He's like, well, more so whomever, I suppose. To those who it may concern. It's not too often that somebody gets stabbed.
I suppose that depends on where you live.
Yeah, there's been plenty of bar fights that have been.
If you think that was the wildest party that she's been in, well.
You get a glare.
Sure.
Not a bad idea, though. I am starving at the same time.
Well.
I just need to sit down for a bit, and maybe a good drink.
All right. And as you all make your way inside, you are greeted with just absolutely lovely smells from within. As Mirigan steps up to the desk here, the person behind it immediately notices. Lord Mirigan, what brings you down from the council building? Well, I was here on some business, and I was assisted by these fine folk back here. Would you perhaps be able to find a table to accommodate all of us? There's, looks, counts 7 of you, adds in the 3 goblins.
Yes, the 3 goblins.
I believe there's 11 of us. Yes, that looks right. Oh, certainly, sir. We can get you all seated. Give me one moment. As he walks back, talks with a couple folks, gets them up there. Right this way, all of you. Because they guide you back. Don't worry too much about the formality. This is just something that they're used to with all of us, really.
Well, I would surely appreciate a little bit of formality. I mean, being assaulted on the street is not my preferred welcoming party for such, well, for the company that I have, of course.
Right. Royalty? I assume so, considering you have multiple retainers here.
Well, yes, of course. And then he does a curtsy.
Oh, good. I didn't realize that we had a dignitary in our midst.
Yes, we could say that. But, of course, the rest of this fine party surely needs some rest and a drink, and probably a feast after all of that.
Certainly so. As he turns and makes his way to the table, and you all see in the back, there seems to be this almost banquet-looking table. 12 chairs all the way around it.
Pats is already there.
Pat's just immediately, the doors open, just gets right in there.
Yeah, well, Mr. Lightman was talking to the staff. He saw the food and he went. He got a plate. He's ready.
Gilgamesh heads towards one of the heads of the table.
Mirigan looks towards Pats. I do respect eagerness as well.
Looks like we have one with a lot of manners per se, and one. Well, I suppose eager is a better word for it.
Yes,
She
I'm
looked right at
very
Pat.
eager. Yes, that's a good word.
She giggles.
But hey, I've heard a lot of good things about this place. I worked up a little bit of an appetite out there. So let's see what this place has to offer. It's been a little bit since I've had a good meal from a restaurant, as it were.
Oh, you'll find no finer around here. Let me give you a rundown of the menu. As he goes ahead and just kind of takes the menu, just marks it down. A lot of standard foods, and just kind of looks at you. I would highly recommend all of this down here, though. as he points to some of the specialties of the place. They've got quite a few things. I'll type them out for you too.
As he reads them, Kita's just leaning over and over to just hear what they're listening specifically to Pat's, because she's had his cooking and knows that he probably knows best.
So Pat's, while he is holding his, I'm going to cast Mage Hand. I'm going to bring out my little notebook. I'm going to write it. I'm going to use Mage Hand to write in my notebook while I have my plate. And I'm going to gather food while he's like writing down all of this, as he's listing them off so I can remember them later. And I'm going to grab just like one bit of everything. Taste test.
That's personally what I'd recommend. For main course, I do chain beast flank. For something on the side, shimmer salad. I personally enjoy the chill sparkling shine berry, but wind fruit's quite good as well. And then the icy delight to top it up for dessert. All lovely bits.
All right. Very inspired naming scheme. I like it. Provides an ambiance.
Ambiance is a big deal here in the Light Zone. As you all kind of notice in here that it seems to be rather dim, actually. This is probably the first time in 3 days that you haven't just had constant bright light shining in your face.
That must be a form of luxury around here.
It is indeed. You all would probably consider some sort of fancy restaurant to have tons of good lighting, but when you're constantly surrounded by divine light, turns out that having something like this, more of a dimmer and more somber area, is actually quite nice for people. Refreshing, as it were.
I gotta admit, this whole light zone, very unique style, but I'm just gonna say it. I think it's a little too cyan. Like, everything is cyan. Why?
Well, we can attribute that to the presence of Clavicari.
Who dat?
Driven mood darkness, is that a thing here?
More or less. Like I said, is contrast not one of the most beautiful ways to accent things?
He's got a point.
But yes, Clavicari. As he kind of sits back and just shows off actually one of the symbols on one of the books he carries around. Let me pull up the new one real quick. I love that.
Noah,
Here.
do
yes.
I know who Clavicari would be? Or are they a more recent construct?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Nicholas, can you roll a religion check? I'm downstairs.
Oh, I have open rolled one hand.
I'm pretty sure I'm not proficient, so it should be like a d20 plus 1, I think.
My average character sheet. Thought I had it. I don't. Oh, nope, that's not it. I don't think I have your sheet.
It's okay.
so
Let me
I
get
will
it for
just
you real
roll-
quick.
I'll just roll a d20. An 11 with whatever modifiers are involved with that.
There we go. You should be able to see it right now, by the way. Okay, +1, so
Okay.
12.
There it is.
Sheila, you would have a vague recollection. Unfortunately, you were never around in the earlier day, or the elemental deities were not around in the pre-convergent days. So really all you have to go off of is word of mouth that people have talked about and just kind of a general sense of the elements around this area.
Okay. Yeah, so Ashio will just be like, that's what are they called? An elemental deity, right?
Indeed. Clavicari is, of course, the essence of light. Basically, consider her the queen of the light elementals, if you can think of it that way. Her presence means so much more to the people, though. It's honestly what gives a lot of them hope, and, well, I can't blame them, honestly. I am also here, by the way, as he sits back to answer any questions that you may have. After all, it seems like you all are relatively, well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but seem relatively new to venturing about. Or at least new to the light zone.
Perhaps
Definitely
a,
new to this plane.
perhaps a drink recommendation first, and then to go, swimmingly with all of our questions and conversation.
Are you looking for something alcoholic?
After today, absolutely.
I'll have what she's having.
Excellent. Well, in that case, you can actually get either of those sparkling options that I mentioned spiked, or of course you can try some of the other drinks from about. We actually do have imports from both the ice zone and the wind zone, and of course our own specialty.
I'll take one of everything.
All right. In that case, I'll go ahead and put in the order for those. Would you like one of everything as well, Kita?
She looks at him like, damn, we starting early. I'll just try the spiked chilled sparkling shineberry first.
Excellent. It's a great choice, honestly.
I'll take whatever you have from the ice zone. That sounds lovely.
Absolutely.
We'll do a wind fruit, if you will.
Also a good choice. Please feel free to put in those, or, well, put it in with one of the many attendees around. After all, a lot of this is really up to the customers, as it were. But I know that they give me a bit of special treatment, as you probably noticed.
I'll be sure to have one of your finest wines on your menu, of course. Actually, off menu. Let's see. Let's celebrate.
Well, of course. And here's your different options, a couple of imports, and then kind of more of a mixed drink for the light zone one.
Now, not to be a selfish sort, but let's talk Genasi.
Yes, I kind of was wondering if you wanted to know about that.
Is this a common occurrence? I haven't seen anything quite like this.
Like what? Those cultists attacking?
She nods.
Unfortunately, it seems to be more common in recent times.
Was there something that triggered it, or did it just come out of nowhere?
Well, let me give you a bit of history here. The group that you're dealing with, or the ones that you saw outside that were attacking the people, is a group known as Grand Severance. This group essentially seeks to, well, purify the land, as it were. They actually were quite active a matter of centuries ago. They attempted to decimate the land of Omeria. They even awakened one of their ancient beasts, the Holy Hydra.
Do I know what that is?
Let me think. You are, you can roll me a history check. You're a lightning genasi. You lived around, basically the best story keepers in the land, so.
You said history.
Mm-hmm.
We love a good old flat roll.
Hey, you know what? So, nothing terribly distinct, but you do remember just bits and pieces of different stories that the Stone Genasi had told before, telling about things that had happened across the sea and something about some sort of holy war, essentially, between Grand Severance and Omeria.
So would I know the story as well then?
Oh, yeah, roll me history at advantage, Ferris. All right. So yeah, Akita, as you're kind of thinking on it, you remember just different bits and pieces, but Ferris, You think on it a bit harder, and you do indeed remember that story being passed around. That, talking about, again, a few centuries ago, there was a great battle that ensued between the Kalishtar of Omeria and the people of Grand Severance, attempting to essentially purify that land from being a mix of the spiritual presence of the warrior spirits of the Kalishtar and their people that they had represented within it. It is said that the Kalishtar warrior Inatari Nevatash struck the final blow into the Holy Hydra and brought peace to the land alongside her adventurer friends.
I will relay that in dramatic fashion.
As Ferris
There
goes
we
and
go.
acts it out and even kind of puts a chair underneath and takes a step up to signal the victory of Vinatari against the Hydra. Mirigan gives you a soft clap.
And you hear the biggest groan that you could ever groan.
Thank you. Nice to be appreciated.
There is a heavy eye roll.
It seems that you're very familiar with their first exploits then, Ferris.
Heard the story since I was a wee thing.
So you know what happened to them afterwards then?
DM. I
Ferris,
assume Ferris does, but
yeah,
I do
so
not.
Ferris, you remember that after that battle, Grand Severance pretty much split up and disappeared. There really nothing else came up from any of their different factions afterwards, as it was also the death of their Grand Overseer, essentially, who had taken over the Hydra himself.
Well, supposedly they scattered to the 7 winds.
Well, then I suppose at this point the winds have reconverged. Suppose that's not exactly an uncommon occurrence in this land. But yes, Grand Severance is once again active. It seems that this whole ordeal with the rise of the Draconic people, such as myself, that have brought to them the fear that they needed to once again reignite their campaign.
Wait. He's a dragon?
Well, is that in character?
No, that was me scrolling up to the to the card because I swear he was humanoid.
He is humanoid.
Humanoid with dragon bits.
The
Dragonborn are
icy
humanoid.
claws.
We all love some good dragon bits.
Dragonborn are, but not dragons.
Oh, you're a dragon. What kind are you? Light dragon, perhaps? Since this seems to be your residence.
I do indeed have the blood of a light dragon within me. Or, well, no, that is correct. However,
Actually,
hmm?
oh, hold on, real quick. Dial it back just a bit. You said the dragons came back. Where did they go?
Well, for a long time, the dragons were essentially extinct. For at least 2 centuries, the dragons essentially either lay dormant or disappeared. Only a couple notable ones seem to have survived that whole time. Said through some calamity essentially brought about by, well, partially in part apparently by avenging Kobold.
So, is Igneal still the king of dragons?
Well, technically. The fire dragons, at least.
Oh, the dragons have a king?
Indeed, the dragons treat themselves as kingdoms, more or less. Igneal and his troop of fire dragons have set themselves up an isolated area in the fire plane, actually. And it's said that they converse quite a bit with Conflago of the fire plane, or the fire zone, to be able to negotiate different movements in between the portals.
Is he, that sounds, how do I put this? He sounds more relaxed, good than before. Is he on, is he a good dragon now?
So you're familiar with the pre-calamity version of that king?
Yes, I suppose.
Indeed. From brutal tyrant to malevolent ruler. It's quite interesting.
Wow, times really have changed.
Indeed. It seems perhaps there was something that was to be learned in his adventure before he reascended. Of course, his adventure, alongside the others that were with him, is what allowed for us to be set free.
So, I guess back to the issue at hand. You keep saying that they want to purge people. Who, who is deemed acceptable to remain on this plane?
Perhaps my question exactly. If you say they wish to purify the lands of sorts, then why Genasi? It seems like they'd be the most attached to the elements in which they reside.
The people of Grand Severance seem to view the world as tainted ever since the Convergence's occurrence. The elementals are the number one on their list. The dragons are simply another one that has assisted with their cause. They wish to get rid of all of us.
We'll show them a taint.
You're rather eager. That's good.
We're happy to have
It-
help.
It does seem a little silly that dragons are on the list. They've been here longer than most of us.
Yes, but as you said before, the dragons took their power and ruled the world with an iron fist at one point, and despite their more recent adjustment and relaxation of these kind of attitudes, the people of Grand Severance still aren't fans, and neither are the people that live in the land who wish for dragons not to regain any sort of power, whether or not they remember the stories of old.
It seems to me then this is less about exterminating a group of people and just wishing to have control.
At the end of the day, isn't extermination all kind of a ploy for that manner of thing?
I mean, I suppose they just don't seem to have a strong base for their beliefs. It seems kind of haphazard.
I suppose that is a bit odd. I don't know the inner workings of the cult. Turns out they didn't invite me. I can't imagine why.
You get a chuckle out of Kita.
Was that what that was? Sorry.
Luckily, our council exists to be able to protect all the people of the Light Zone and, well, as of the recent openings of our borders, also to protect the people of Converga itself. At least in accordance with Xavier's decree.
Do we just hear, like, Pats making just lots of loud eating noises?
Yeah, and Pat's, by the way, this food is delectable. Oh, you love it.
Okay. These light boys, they got hands. They can cook.
Like, you're almost tempted to go back for seconds on some of this stuff, but you know you want to try a little bit of everything.
Mhm. Okay, not bad, not bad.
I'm glad to see you're enjoying our food. And please, Please don't let me talk your ear off as well, any of you. Feel free to grab something to snack on in the meantime. We'll have plenty of time over the course of this meal to discuss whatever you'd like.
So, do you mind a more personal question?
What would that be?
I'm curious. Blood of the, of a dragon. How does that feel, I suppose? I have certain feelings with the elements that flow through me, but I'm curious if it's similar.
Ah, so you want more on Tamargons then?
I suppose so.
Well, I'll start with this. My full title is Mirigan of the Light Scaled. Like I said, blood of a light dragon flows through me. But unlike a dragonborn, which has externally manifested all of their dragon portions, the people that are deemed Tamargons need to channel it through different pieces. The way we've done that is actually through a technique that was developed generations ago. Is the act of being able to actually take dragon scales and turn it into, I suppose, a powder and ink. In an agreement set forth by our people before they were, I suppose, officially Tamargons, we made a pact with the dragons. We were able to use their scales to be able to tattoo ourselves, to draw forth the power, transforming those dragon pieces temporarily into weapons. You saw what happened with my arms earlier as he pulls up his sleeves, just showing the intricate tattoos on his arms. Well, at least Ferris did. I know that you all had scattered around attempting to save the people, and for that I am quite grateful.
I caught a glimpse, but yes, I did skate away quite quick.
Each of these pieces I can transform into different manifestations of draconic power. For instance, this one that's shaped like kind of a triple spike here on the arm can be transferred into a large impaling shield. I have wings tattooed onto my back, which can actually be extended out for, well, I suppose mine are more protective in nature. Light dragons aren't as prone to flying as others. As well as one that actually is right here, as he pulls down his shirt and shows that there seems to be what almost looks to be like a tooth necklace tattooed down part of his chest. This is what I used in my final attack, to be able to take and bite the head off of the cultist in front of me.
I'm afraid I must have missed that part. She looks like absolutely just like, this is a lot of information, but like, holy crap.
Yes, by matching up the... Oh, yes, please.
Also, just out of character, you mentioned, since he went and pulled down his shirt to reveal his chest, this guy's fairly ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's no jealousy at all.
She's very much attempting to not look like she's looking for anything else other than the knowledge he is giving. But she's definitely looking.
As he continues on, so
Ferris definitely isn't like casually shifting a little bit so he can flex a little harder.
Akita doesn't even notice.
Oh, it's not for you.
Well, I know.
This ain't
If
about
she
her.
did, she'd say something shitty, but she's not even paying attention. That's how you know she doesn't see.
But yes, as he just looks towards them again, and he reaches out his hands, and you see as the black tattoos that are on his fingertips turn back into claws. But yes, it's through the light dragon scales being turned into this fine ink that we're able to do these kind of things. Our people in the ancient days had the dragon blood, but did not have the pact with the dragons set yet, so unfortunately, with no outlet for the power of the dragon to make its way through us, to be able to empower us, it would drive us insane, manifesting into these different pieces of mangled draconic pieces that would emerge, essentially making you look quite sickly.
That's quite a list of party tricks, although that insanity bit seemed a bit scary, but
It's a different type for sure. There are some benefits for having those kind of appendages.
I'd feel insane if I didn't have the electricity going through me.
Exactly. So I can imagine if you were constantly arcing lightning off of yourself. It's a lot of power, but perhaps a little less control or elegance to it.
She looks at him like, wait, I don't constantly do that already? There's just a little bzz that comes off of her. She stands there smiling.
But yes, that marks a bit of the history behind the Tamargon people. Well, a proud history for sure, but for the last while we were branded as heralds of destruction, more or less, and forced to carry that curse with us.
It's definitely different than pretty much anything I've heard of.
Yes, indeed. Igneal's return also signaled the release of this curse on us, which, again, is probably what helped Grand Severance in their fear-mongering to bring the people against us.
Then what's next for them? This problem, if you leave it, long term it can't be good.
Certainly not, but unfortunately not a problem that I'm able to deal with directly. I still have my responsibility to uphold as a member of the Light Zone Council. And we have no idea where their headquarters is either.
Still, with that position, there's probably... Well, I imagine you're doing all you can.
We do indeed have communications within the Light Zone Council that connect to places a little further beyond our borders.
Yeah, she sits and it looks like she's thinking, but without enough knowledge or anything of what's happening, she's unsure of how she can help. So she's just sitting there with a looking face.
She looks like she's thinking, but we all know she doesn't do that.
You were curious. Oh, go ahead.
I had nothing. I want to electrocute him so bad.
If you were curious, I'm actually a representative of the Tamargon people, as well as folks like yourself, the Genasi. After all, the people need somebody to sit at the table for them.
So our voices are heard, I suppose.
Indeed. The other 6 members of the council represent their different areas as well. Well, I suppose Xavier represents kind of everybody, as he's the head of the council, the chosen of Clavicari. But if you're curious, I can give you a quick rundown of what each person represents.
I suppose we have nowhere to be, right?
I'll make it quick, that way you all can continue to enjoy your food. So, first off, the leader, Xavier Lux. He's Clavicari's champion, wields a fairly large blade as well. Able to channel her light power through that, he also serves in many different facets, I suppose. I've heard he also serves as challenger to people who wish to have an audience directly with Clavicari. Next down the list, Orithia Fiel. She's a cleric who serves as the representation of the Light Zone common people. As a high elf, it's kind of funny to think about that, but it's simply something that her heart is into. Next up is Murixi Dawnstep, who's an Azamar. He's one of the more cautious ones on the council, as I can clearly see. And funny enough, he's going about the whole purity bit in a much better way than Grand Severance, simply wanting to make sure that our people are taken care of, even in the midst of a grand mixing of all the different peoples coming about. You see, the Light Zone used to actually be mostly sealed off from the other zones. It is only in recent years that we've opened up and allowed people in. I suppose that's also allowed Grand Severance to get a foothold.
Yes, but If there's no change, you'll be stagnant, but with change comes challenges.
I think you'd get along quite well with Xavier. He has to fight that kind of battle with Marixi on the common. Afterwards, another one of the Gleam bloodline, Olivia. She's essentially the best of an order of healers, and they always get a seat on the council as well. Always taking care of quite a few folks. I know there have been several that have been saved directly by her hand, and countless others by her organization or direct bloodline. And then there's the somewhat odd ones, myself included. I, of course, am a representative to the Tamagon and the Genasi, as well as other mixed races, so essentially Grand Severance's public enemy number one. Frakrif Prisma. He's a crystal dragonborn. He's one that I associate with quite a bit, just to hear more about direct to the dragon people. And they mostly deal with the actual dragons and less of the half races. And then we have a representative ourselves from across the sea to Omeria's borders, Rainatari Nevatash. She's a Kalishtar military captain. Quite accomplished, apparently. We're glad they sent one of their best. Not to mention, the same bloodline, as you might be familiar with the story, that struck down the Holy Hydra.
I've been frantically typing notes. It really is quite a variety of people and backgrounds.
Indeed. Between all of us, the 7 members make sure that we're representing all of the people in the Light Zone and now beyond, as we continue to try and figure out this new and exciting world of ours. After all, there's been a lot more development as far as, well, planar and portal type technology. The world is becoming more and more interconnected just with every day that passes.
I suppose that's a norm for me. Lightning Zone is just kind of a melting pot for all sorts of things.
Indeed. A grand mixing of people, or so I've heard. The Light Zone's not as familiar with that concept yet.
Well, it's good that you're moving towards it. Definitely improves society.
Indeed.
Definitely a lot more fun that way.
Fun is certainly a factor to think about. Perhaps once we get rid of nuisances like this cult, it'll be even better for the people.
Am I safe here, speaking of them?
Are you safe? I assure you that the Grand Severance's appearance is less a norm than you might think. Obviously you happened upon them today, but luckily we generally won't see much of them in between attacks.
But the knives that they carried.
Ah,
There's
yes.
something different about it. What?
Oh, there is. As he reaches out his hand, one of you took one, right?
She
Yeah,
looks around.
I'll give it back.
I know someone else did, but Ferris will pull his out and said, "Looked mean enough to figure out what it does."
Indeed. I can give you the basis
Dagger
here.
eyeballs.
Yes, indeed.
We have Xavier, Aritha, Marixi Dawnstep, Olivia. Was it?
Yeah, but I can't spell those.
Oh, I spelled them. See, I spelled them how I would pronounce them, so that I know how to pronounce them. Rainatari Nevatash, right? And Frakrif Prisma, something like that. I'm taking notes this time, guys.
There you go. With regards to this knife, as he holds it up, it's actually been enchanted, possibly by the Grand Overseer himself. It's a rather dangerous weapon, actually. We've looked into it, though. I can explain to you how it works, as he explains to you how it works.
And a dagger imbued with a power that cuts between the very essence of fused connection. 1d4. Features. If used to successfully attack a target that is a mix of different planes, elements, blood, such as Genasi or Tarmogon, the attack additionally deals 1d10 psychic damage.
You just got yourself a racist sword?
Yeah, a racist knife.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're rather dangerous weapons. I'm certainly not a fan of how it's continued to evolve. They used to have to make it into a blade, such as the one that you saw the man in front of me wield.
Can definitely say I'm not a fan. She looks at it and she's like, ugh, thinking about just a few moments ago being stabbed.
Indeed. Essentially, the feeling you more than likely got, though you might not have realized it in the moment, is the essence of your elemental self being cut from your human self.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
They've done many an unholy act. I heard that in the fight against Omeria, they actually managed to split one of the Kalistar from the warrior spirit.
Never felt more separated from, well, lightning, I suppose.
Yes. It's terrifying, really. When I get cut by it, I can feel the power of the dragon leaving me in that moment. So definitely be careful if you do happen to run into this group again, especially outside of the Light Zone's borders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kita's face, she's like looking down, she's looking a little worried.
As he hands the knife back to you, Ferris, make sure to keep that out of bad hands. I know that you all will hopefully be able to utilize it for something. Hopefully a much less malicious cause than these people out here have been using them for.
Maybe we could reconfigure it to target cultists.
I suppose the base enchantment is there. That'd be rather interesting.
Flip it on its head.
And yes, anybody who would like, this is considered a short rest. As you're getting a chance to just relax, get some food, have a chat. So, yes, do anything you can on a short rest. Holy smokes.
Well, I'm back to full.
Is that hit dice right for you, Hannah?
No,
D4?
Oh, you need to change that.
I've changed it 3 times, and it keeps going back, and I'm really
Really?
mad about it.
Well, in that case, you can go ahead and just, what is it normally supposed to be, a D6?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to look back now and remember, because I looked and I changed it literally 3 times, and I thought I had fixed it
Did you change it on the front page or on the gear page?
on the gear page.
Well, shit, I'm
And
out
the
of
front
ideas.
page, and then the gear page again.
Are you, real quick, are you using another class as your basis?
No.
Down in, like, use custom class or anything like that?
Because I know that when I had it as like sorcerer, every time I tried to like change it, it would go back to a D6 and I was supposed to have a D8. But I somehow managed to like I wiped that out and then went to the gear page, and the D8 finally stuck. So I don't know if it might be how you've got your class programmed that it's being difficult.
Lovely.
Or, it could just be like me, and your hit die will never ever stick, like my spells never ever stick.
You beat me by 1 second.
Why does this all look different now? I don't like how this looks.
Oh, yeah, Roll20 changed their interface.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool once you get used to it.
I don't like it.
Oh, I've been using this interface since they introduced it as a beta, though, because I pay for the fancy Roll20. That's right.
I hate it.
Change is
Hannah,
bad.
real
Change
quick,
is very bad.
Boo hiss, boo
did
hiss.
you change the hit die under class options or under custom class options?
Fudge nuggets, I don't know.
That's
Well,
okay.
go to the gear page. There's 2 different ways to change your hit die in there, so make sure that the one under custom class options is changed and not the one under class options.
Okay, no los dos.
Alright. I will get this sorted. I'm pretty sure it's a D6, but I'll verify that.
Perfect. Yeah, and you can fix that up while you just hand you back the knife and just kind of sit there. It's good to hear that there's some other people that are going to be watching out for those cultists. As I said, we don't really leave the light zone. And you all seem to have some sort of venture going on. After all, why would you find yourself in the city otherwise? Is it just for the restaurant?
Yeah, that was really it. We're on our way further in or further out.
I see. Where's your ultimate destination?
Hang on. DM
The
remind
Light
me what the name
Council?
of the High Council. We had letters of introduction to
Yes.
someone.
Let me get you the full map. That way you can utilize that.
Thank you. Well, we were gonna take the light way, right? Was the idea?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we were headed towards the Eternal Lightway. We've got some letters of introduction to the council.
Really?
Up the Apex, I assume.
You're heading towards the council building yourself. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'd offer to join you, but I've got a bit more business here, and I'm sure you all don't want to sit around too much.
Well, I think we'd certainly feel safer with you around.
I suppose I can wrap up my business rather quickly then.
You need any help?
As he takes out his list. Oh, what else do I have to do? Fighting cultists wasn't on the list, but I'll add it now. As he writes it down and then crosses it out on the top. Perfect.
Proper motivational list making. Oh, I did something. Let me add it to the list and check.
Excellent. Well, I've got to go talk with a few of the people around the town, just make sure that everything's all well and good. I know that we had an ordnance issue before. Actually, one of the walls seems to have been weakened slightly. I don't think it's anything malicious, probably just a chain beast accidentally bumping into it. And after that, I have to go check the status of the Eternal Lightway, funny enough. This thing tends to go down sometimes. It's a matter of if it does, then we have to get some folks out to be able to actually fix it, recharge it. It's gotten better over time, but sabotage is, still a minor possibility. Though I really feel like it's mostly accidents.
You never can count on that IT equipment, interdimensional travel.
I know, right? It's crazy. After that, I think we should be able to be on our way. I might have to stop real quickly in Shine's Vale, but other than that, it should be all smooth sailing all the way to Nejintoku. So, considering a lot of this is discussion-wise, perhaps it would be best to show you all the different mechanics that the Eternal Lightway presents, but I can go ahead and leave you all to some shopping, I'm sure, in town that you're looking to do, while I'm taking care of a few errands.
If there's anything that can be bought for silver, then I'm all in.
For silver? Didn't I just give you all gold?
Yeah, but if the price is here like the price is on the promenade,
Good lord, what are they charging you on the promenade?
I've always been attracted to shiny things, so the gems were a chunk.
Ah, yes, gems still fetch a pretty penny out there. And really just anywhere. After all, they're becoming more and more of a commodity of different things.
I would think elemental gems would be fairly easy to find,
Well,
given the landscape you all live in.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
yes and no, I suppose. In some ways, yes, but, as he tells us that a little bit, well, things like the Eternal Lightway are powered by light gems.
So the government's hogging resources.
That seems like a bit of an extrapolation. We're using it for the people.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure my point still stands.
I suppose in a way it's viewable like that, but I do assure you that, well, I suppose some of our sabotage comes from people taking the light gems, but that's alright. A lot of these gem pieces, the housing for them, casings, are actually formed through elementals, funny enough. Ultimately, it's just condensed elemental energy is formed into a bit of glass.
Aren't there many elementals that come out of portals? We crossed many of them.
Indeed, you more than likely ran past a few on your way here through the Tranquil Plains. The elementals roam fairly free around the different zones, emerging from the portals as it's an abundance of whatever element that they are, and simply wandering around these areas as if it was their own home.
Is it simply that many people don't hunt them for gems?
Oh, not much point in hunting them, I suppose. Because, well, you could. But at the same time, well, that's why things like the guards are in place. After all, if we destroy a bunch of the elementals, then it becomes a bigger issue, from what I've gathered.
So then how do you get the gems if you don't kill elementals?
Oh no, elementals are still killed and they pass on naturally, and other than that, we're currently working on a way to fashion the housing, although it's a bit slow and tedious, it's still functional. Turns out slaying a ton of elementals would probably invoke the ire of Clavicari if it was a lot of light elementals. Or arguably worse.
There's something worse than invoking the ire of a elemental god.
Oh yes, invoking the power of an elemental ancient creature.
And then there's hearing you perform.
On the scale of greatness, I'll take it.
But yes, to invoke the eye of an elemental deity is certainly one thing, but there also exists a creature who is more akin to an elemental than he is a deity, but certainly wields a power like one. If any of you have heard of the deity Asutera.
Ferris pricks up a little bit at that.
Indeed, Ferris, you're quite familiar with Asutera.
Ah! Yeah, fair. I'll take on anything made out of lightning energy before him.
Understandable. Yes, Asutera is an interesting creature, as is Garumi. Those two exists a little bit outside of the normal ring of the elemental deities that are over all the zones.
What is an Asutera?
No, think of it like a very large stone entity, essentially having all of the elemental power just culminate as a very large creature.
If you pass him off, imagine the earth itself smacking you in the face.
That sounds unpleasant.
And you can think of Garumi as that, but the equivalent for the ocean. If the ocean came and gave you a smack.
Water tends not to like me.
Understandably so.
Are there versions of these for all the elements?
The versions of the
Is
other.
there a massive,
Oh, go on.
like, is there something that's like the essence of fire that's come to burn you to your core?
Well, I suppose you could think of Conflago as that, but he's more of in a deity design. Earth and water are more primal elements.
I suppose.
It's a rather interesting paradigm, really.
Looking around, how's everybody doing with food and drinks and such? I imagine Pats is licking his plate or already has done so.
Food coma, yeah.
I am ruminating on my meal.
Hmm.
I finished everything and now I'm gathering my thoughts and looking over my notes that I took as I was eating.
Is Gilgamesh really nursing that glass of wine and talking about all the different essences that he can taste in the food and the drink?
No, he's just been patiently observing,
Interesting,
especially
okay.
with the conversation. You know, there's only so much that could be talked about with wine.
Fair
Here
enough.
I thought you were cultured.
Cultured enough to know that a sommelier is not Gilgamesh.
Let's say, other than it being like dim in here, is there any other like ambiance type things, or is it pretty light zone structured?
You see, as it's fairly light zone structured, although
Oh,
you
does that mean there's no live music yet?
it does not seem like there's live music currently. No.
Be wondering, I should fix that.
Oh.
Hmm.
Do you?
Do we?
Could possibly be quite fun. I will pull out what I have. I forgot what instruments I play.
Too much to drink.
Where did I write? Oh yes, I pull out my viola.
Ah, excellent. Is it the world's smallest violin?
Oh, it is.
As Mirigan looks towards y'all. I didn't realize you played.
Well, I am quite musically inclined.
Yeah, I guess we'll kind of start with just like pushing back from the table a little bit and not like getting up and doing a full-on show in the restaurant, but just kind of pushed off to the side a little bit and start plucking away and sawing away.
Excellent.
What instrument does your character play?
Essentially the lute, but it's themed as a guitar.
Okay.
As Pat wanders back over to get some more food and add some spice to it. Go ahead and roll me a performance check, both Wanbury and Ferris.
Pat is almost entirely detached from the conversation at hand.
Also, has Pats drank all of the drinks yet, or is he pacing himself?
He's pacing himself.
I'm proud
he's
of
drink-
him.
He has to see how it pairs with every single
Oh,
thing, so
gotcha.
he's sipping it as well.
My bad.
That 13
So
or
of course
15?
it's the 6.
Oh. Oh, guidance. Yes, yes. All
Yeah.
right.
Of course the 6 was first.
So between the two of you, you actually both play quite well. As once again, Mirigan just looks at you, just a light clap. As a couple of the servers come over, and you notice as you're playing, a couple more of them come over, and you suddenly have half a dozen of them just sitting here listening to it.
Thank you. I'll be like floating above their heads, and I'm gonna have like little notes that I make appear in the air, like bubbles and pop, and like have them being created and popping around me as I float around.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. We'll be here for a few days. We're available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, whatever it is that you like.
As the,
Yes, I love weddings.
as the crowd claps
Do-
for you.
Do you all kidnap the bride here, or is that not a tradition here?
The people look
I
at
think
you in
that is a yes.
confusion.
As you
No.
say that, there's like I hit the wrong string on the guitar. Just like
The applause just
What?
stops.
No, there's no kidnapping. Wombury.
That's good.
Well, unless things have changed recently. I really hope there's no kidnapping. There was no kidnapping when I was last year.
no.
That's much less exciting. Don't hide her behind a dragon or anything. I've heard tales of that.
Well, I suppose it depends on the kingdom. I've heard of some former tribes to have loved a good kidnapping or two. Or I guess they called it conscription.
Mirigan looks towards you, Ferris, and smiles. Interesting company indeed.
I don't mean kidnapping someone to be your bride. Just to be clear, I'm saying they are the person who is to be married by will is kidnapped on agreement and then must be rescued by their
Oh, marriage
soon-to-be
ceremony.
spouse.
Yes, it's quite
No.
popular in Hobgoblin society.
The Society of Hobgoblins? Aren't you in charge of goblins?
Yes, I'm in
Oh,
charge
they
of all
kicked you out,
goblinoids.
I'm sorry.
There's a distinction between all of them, of course.
I'm sorry. You were probably forced to leave the Hobgoblins. I apologize. Probably
No.
hard memories.
Yeah.
That's why you associate with people smaller than you, so you can feel better about it. It's okay. We all have our backgrounds.
Seems that you don't have a background in being patient during a conversation.
Yeah, so,
And then Gilgamesh just swirls the wine in his glass.
yes, quite.
Excellent.
Gotta aerate it, don't you know? Really puts some lead tasting in it.
Lead tasting?
Yes, don't you sprinkle lead in your wine? It's quite the fad.
Yeah, it sweetens the wine, don't you know?
See, goblins understand a good culinary, well, I wouldn't call it masterpiece, but at least he has some culture.
I think
You know
the
lead is
practice
poisonous,
was
right?
yeah, I think the practice was short-lived in most of the world.
You mean that the people that drank it were short-lived?
Well, that's a little bit harsh saying that the goblinoids are short.
Yeah, who you going short, huh? Not my fault, I'm
That's
tiny.
That's what they'll say. Oh, the temper
No,
of the
we're
goblin.
saying you're poisoning yourself into an early grave.
Poison? Just because mere humanoids can't have any lead doesn't mean the rest of us can't.
Yeah, what do you know about goblinoid physiology? Not much.
If you know, that was one of my electives during university.
I mean, I suppose if lead doesn't affect you, then that's fine, but it does affect the rest of us.
And that's
Not
your
my
loss.
favorite metal.
As Mirigan just looks towards y'all, looks towards the servers. Would you mind bringing out desserts for everybody? I think everybody deserves to try some of it before we make our way out of here. Yes, Lord Mirigan, we can get that right away. As the servers all kind of walk off here to go get the stuff prepared.
Eris will look over towards Pats and go, let me guess, one of everything.
Of course. Of course. I have to
As
see
proper.
everything that this place has to offer.
I don't think I could fit one of everything, but if you'd let me have a bite of everything, I would not mind that.
Go for it. I don't need all of it anyways.
I'm sure you'll barely notice my portion.
It actually makes for very easy traveling when he doesn't have to eat very much.
Oh yes, being small is very advantageous. I'm quite light, people don't mind carrying me around.
Mhm. That's
get
the
to
only
nap.
reason I was let on the ship. Because I was so small, I wouldn't take up that much food. Oh, I never told you guys. I was a pirate. Way back when. I was on a pirate ship sailing around the seven seas, or only one sea now, I guess.
A
Aren't you like
pirate.
12?
16? Thank you very much.
How long ago were you a pirate then?
I was only a pirate for like 2 years, but you know, that's plenty of time. I saw a lot of things.
Then where did you learn to cook from, or was it just a...
What do you think my job was? I
Well,
wasn't
yes,
the captain, that's for sure.
Well, yes, but did you learn beforehand, or did you just kind of wing it and learn as you went?
Of course I knew how to cook beforehand. As the other reason why they let me on is because I could cook.
Well, my point still stands. Where did you learn?
My auntie Gob taught me, and I'm self-taught. We used to live
How
on this
long?
island way out in the ocean, you see. And there's a lot of cool stuff out there that you can't really find anywhere else. Well, would love to go back there someday.
How long did it take you to learn how to cook? I've never really partaken much myself.
I mean, the very first thing I ever cooked was, I cracked a bird's egg over a hot rock. That's cooking. Pretty easy, so I guess I was like 2, 3? I don't know. I don't know what age a goblin would be considered toddler.
I don't
Toddler
know.
age.
I feel like
2 or
it's
3 is probably
one
pretty
or
accurate.
less.
Or yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't they live like 30 years?
I think it's like 50 years. Now, goblins can live up to like 50 or 60 years. They just usually don't due to goblin reasons.
Due to goblin shenanigans.
It's
Yeah,
not an
goblin
age limit,
shenanigans.
it's they tend to die young.
Yeah,
It skews the
Yeah.
numbers.
but
He died of natural causes. Oh, old age? No, he got stabbed.
he was used as like
Goblins'
goblin grenade.
lifespans are just as long as normal humans. They just tend to not live that long.
Yeah.
Natural selection. Hmm. But anyways, yeah,
Oh,
Auntie
adventurous.
Gob, she taught me She taught me which berries not to eat, or else I wouldn't be here today.
That's very important. There's
Mhm.
lots of very interesting berries where I'm from. Mostly we eat plants. There's certain mushrooms that very lovely hallucinogenics, food that if people eat them that aren't from the plane, they get stuck there and enforced into servitude for all eternity. There's these lovely scrumptious berries that when you eat them, it just, the savor just lasts for days.
Oh, don't forget the berries that make you burst out into blue flowers.
Yes.
I think you guys and Auntie Gob will get along.
Not to be mistaken for the blueberries that look almost the same that give you horrific diarrhea.
Remind me never to take berries from you, ever.
You will
This is
conjure a blueberry as you say that and eat it.
This is where I need you to have a level of druid and just cast good berry all the time.
Would you like a berry?
After that description, I think I've lost my appetite for them.
Well,
Cats, have you ever tried searing anything with electricity?
Electricity? No, ma'am. The only kind of electricity I ever saw was during the thunderstorms, and I did not want to be there. Did not want to actually see the lightning.
She looks at herself and then looks back at him.
But here I'm on dry land. You're a person, so it's probably fine, right? Probably.
Probably.
I wouldn't count on it.
Nah, he has a bad track record.
Is it me that has a bad track record, or is it you?
Well, one of us does get to the venue on time.
Do you two get a little sparky with each other?
Depends on what you mean by sparky.
Young love is such a fascinating thing to watch.
Absolutely not.
No.
You can just see the sparks in the air almost.
No, that's just me.
That's all her.
Wow, look, we agree on something.
It left a bad taste in my mouth, but yes.
I'm gonna lean over to Wombury and be like,
I have read this. It's called enemies to lover trope.
I have read that in a few books. Interesting. It would be interesting to watch in person.
Is this loud enough for us to hear?
probably.
Paris just starts playing loudly on the guitar. Over.
Who do you think would break first, the Gnazi or the other one?
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship.
Can I static shock? Does Wanbury like have hair that I can static shock upward? Just
You
like
have
a,
to, yes.
like a poof.
Yes.
Can I go poof his hair?
If you can catch him.
I mean, you hear a click on the ground as my shoes turn to roller skates.
I fly up.
I want to be able to catch you. Is that a thing? Can I do it? DM help.
well, I'll go ahead and have both of you roll me an initiative roll.
I will probably lose.
I don't
Friendly
know.
fire, let's go.
My rolling hasn't gone well.
I probably lose.
Yes!
As Wanfrey, you hear a click, and before you even notice it, just suddenly, and you can feel as your hair all stands on end.
You would do best not to make assumptions and put him and I in the same sentence ever.
Wombury leans over to Ishao. Does this mean that I'm involved in a love triangle, as they say, or?
Unlikely.
Good. I think she's a little big for me. But she does have a very good type of spark with her.
Oh, you like him feisty, do you?
Well, it's more fun that way.
I'm just
Says,
celebrating.
a little louder.
I'm hoping that I'm just skating away and not hearing the rest of this.
As the three of you kind of going back and forth, Mirigan looks over to the rest of the table. Callisto, Pats, and Yogamesh. Just everybody seems to be rather interesting company here. Though I am kind of curious, how in the world did all of these folk here combined with a goblin, a hobgoblin, and as he tries to look, Callisto, are you wearing your hood up or hood down? Can I get you to speak it into the mic? Oh, okay, never mind. So she's got her hood down, and I gotta look at a tabaxi. What in the world could have brought you all together?
We got hired for a job.
Suppose that's as good a reason as any.
And we were the best people available for it. Wouldn't you believe it?
No one
Actually,
else applied.
funny.
He ain't wrong either, but neither am I.
Funny enough, based on the stories I've heard, yes, I would believe that a ragtag group of folks might be just the perfect thing for the job.
Have you ever heard or met someone by the name of Tutori?
Ah, yes, I know that Xavier's rather familiar with him.
He hired us.
Well, in that case, your news certainly must be an important piece.
The
What makes you say
ragtag
that?
seems a little insulting.
Well, Tutori tends to only have folks deliver that kind of news when one of two things have happened. Either A, for some reason, he has been completely incapacitated, which I highly doubt, or B, he wants you to deliver this news so that he can go check out something else in the meantime that may also be relevant.
Interesting. Also, ragtag may be insulting, but you're about the size of a rag and she just tagged you.
Got him.
These fighters are quite nice, as he brushes some dust off his shoulder. My spider friend in the Feywild made them for me fit perfectly. They're quite nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The Feywild, huh?
Yes.
Huh.
Apparently a lot of us are familiar with it.
I kind of figured, all things being considered, as he looks at you just sitting there, just hovering in the air. I'm sure that we'll
How
get
could
to.
you tell?
Well,
Was it my wavy locks? And he gives a charming smile.
you know what? I suppose so. As just kind of sits back, I suppose we'll get to know each other a little better as we continue this journey of ours. But
I do hope so.
in the meanwhile, as the servers come back with the desserts, bon appetit to all. And you all see in front of you just this absolutely lovely looking dessert dish. As it just seems to be this kind of, looks to be a bit of some sort of shaved ice dessert decorated with a couple of pieces of fauna looking to be almost things that you would have seen in the Tranquil Plains. And then you also see that these aren't actually plants as you look closer. They are made of basically candy essence. So it's like a little shaved ice with a few flowers off of it that are made of sweets.
Nice. Do they have angel food cake?
Yeah, a little bit on the side.
I figured it's a very light dessert.
Yes.
Thank you.
My wife
Thank
laughed
you.
from the other room too. You got two.
Is Ashiel enjoying the candy on
Please
the
note with the
candy
pity
sweets?
laugh, David.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
sorry,
definitely.
Could you say that
Shield.
into the mic?
What?
Yeah, is
What's the
is
shield
Shield
doing?
enjoying the sweets on the dessert, I imagine, after all of her candy handing out?
Yeah, Shield's enjoying it. You also see her like wave her hand over it, and some more candy falls out of her fingers on top.
Where does it come from? She's just in baffling.
Magic.
Mirigan, now tell me. When music played earlier, it didn't seem like people don't just get up and dance here.
I suppose it's not as common as back in the lightning zone for you. But they certainly do enjoy themselves a good tune. Nice ambiance in the background.
Are there any dancing styles that you guys do?
As he thinks back, well, if you're looking to learn some type of new dance, which I'll take it is where this question is headed.
Always looking to learn more. That's why I set out in the first place.
I see. Well, I'm trying to think of if any of the council members would be familiar with it. Actually, it is a possibility. But would she be around that during the time?
If it's a bother, don't worry.
No, I actually was just thinking. So Shinesvale, Olivia's hometown, actually might have what you're looking for.
Interesting.
Please keep in mind this entire time I'm just sleeping.
Nappy, eepy kitty. Are you eating your food first? No?
Just face down in it.
Yeah?
The biggest eep.
The biggest tired. I just pop up poison in everyone's faces. I'm tired.
You're not gonna eat any food before you go nap in the corner?
She ate the wrong berry. She's preoccupied.
As close as just curled up in the nice dim corner, just taking a nice little nap. But yes, I suppose if we could go to, well, we're already going there as part of my expedition here, so if you don't mind taking a brief stop there, I'm sure you might be able to learn yourself some new techniques. You seem to be, oh, somewhat of a performer yourself.
I suppose you can say that.
Well, I hope you
She
find.
shrugs and has a smirk on her face.
Well, I certainly hope you find what you're looking for then.
And I thank you for the information.
Indeed. We'll set out there first thing tomorrow morning then. All for the Eternal Lightways transportation. In the meanwhile, though, how are you all liking the dessert?
Absolutely heavenly.
Excellent. Again,
Quite delicious.
they do pride themselves on it. It's why this place has such a reputation.
They're a little too sweet, but I do like most of it. But it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I'll take
Guys,
it.
you guys can't win on everything.
That's all right.
You don't like sweet.
Experienced chefs such as yourself, giving that kind of praise is probably quite nice. I'm sure that they'll take it to heart.
No. They shouldn't take my they shouldn't take my praises there. They should take my complaints to heart because I got a whole list of them right here.
Ah.
I pull out my notepad. All right, let me scroll. So that chain beast flank, not bad, but there was a certain gaminess that I feel that could have just been eradicated if you just use this herb right here. Let's see. I pull it out of my bag. See, it's just like a little pouch full of some aromatic herbs. So now this, I don't really know where it is. I found out at an island way out in the sea. But if you can find this and put some more of that with the flank, it'll be so tender, and the gaminess will just be gone. And then Pat goes through this entire spiel with everything on the menu for the next 20 minutes. To our guy right here.
Goodness.
Oh, those are
Really
all
the
rather
best of us.
interesting points. As he also had started taking down notes after you got about past the second one, like, oh, he's got a lot.
After a certain point, I would like wave over like some survey, like, hey, get someone who could get a cook over here so he can listen to me rant.
As the cook comes over, like, Mirigan kind of looks through him, nods, and he brings the cook over. And he takes a lot of these notes.
While it's
I
going
wanna-
on, I just lean over to Gilgamesh and go, I don't think I've ever listened to anyone with that much lung capacity before.
I want a cook roll off to see if the cook there is better than you.
Tell you
What
what.
is the ego of this chef? Because
Yeah.
chefs usually have a big ego.
And a knife to
Oh, they
match.
absolutely
The,
do.
the chef does come out and seems a little irked by the first few complaints. But actually, so Pats, can you go ahead and roll me? I can't remember what we would have you roll for cooking.
Survival.
Do you have good survival?
Nature?
Where did my sheet go?
What's your best stack?
Alchemy tools.
You'd have proficiency for sure.
I have nature.
Sure, we could use nature
Wait,
for
no,
it.
alchemy would be for Breaking Bad cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
what the
mean-
shield does.
There's like cryo freezing cooking and stuff now. That's alchemy. I think would work well.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, go and roll me one of those up.
Okay, nature.
Yeah. Since you kind of cook on intuition in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
So yeah, so the cook comes out and just what's the first few complaints is like, no, come now. Do you really think that all of this will change it that much? As he goes to get close to the chain beast. Is this the chain beast flank with the spices on it?
Yes,
Ah.
try it for yourself.
As he takes a fork and knife, just cuts off a piece. I'm sure that it can't. Puts it in his mouth. Puts the fork down, grabs his notepad, grabs his pen. Continue.
And that was simply added as a garnish. Now imagine if you had that stewing in there this entire time.
Ah, interesting. As he starts to kind of ask back and forth, kind of asking where to get some of these herbs, and so this conversation, like I said, goes on for another 20 minutes, and you can see as he's like, kind of went from being seemingly irked to actually fairly excited, knowing that there's such an experienced chef giving him all of this advice.
Pat is reveling in it. This is his element. But yes, the herbs and spices that I have in my pouch may or may not be available anywhere or anymore. Who knows? So
Yeah, he does.
whatever I get.
He does look quizzically at a few of the things you say. Kind of come again.
That's I just shrug. I'm like, well, if you can't get any more, that's not my fault. Find a substitute.
Added the herbs to extinction.
All right, and as you get to the end of it, he just goes, "Is that everything then?"
I'm sure I'll think of some more later, but for now, I think that's enough. I'm looking forward to see the improvements whenever I come through here next time.
Well, excellent.
First impression's pretty well. However, second impression and third impression, that's what gets me coming back to a restaurant. It's easy to get me in the door once, getting me in twice. You earned that at least.
Well, this is simply incredible. I must repay you for your generosity and kindness here. Please, as he takes out a little bit of money from his pocket.
If you let me raid your stocks for some to top off some of the ingredients that I've been low on. That's all I need.
Certainly, if you'd like a few ingredients, you're more than welcome to them.
I go into the larder and I just take the pick of some of the choice stuff that I've been eating, various herbs and spices, maybe some nice cuts of meat.
All right, you restock your common herbs and spices, and you can go ahead and take 3 raw chain beast flanks.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's see.
I need an ingredients list. I should make that.
Yeah, that'd be the best thing here for sure. Yeah, so you can get 3 raw chain beast flanks, in addition to restoring all of your common herbs and spices.
Okay.
And as Mirigan kind of chuckles to himself as Fast goes back to refill his ingredients, comes back, you all get a chance to finish up and enjoy your desserts, and he beckons you all. All right, I suppose it's time for us to get some business done. Please allow me to cover this meal. You all have done more than enough for the city here.
And we got free food.
As he kind of waves you all on, we should be able to set you up in an inn for the night. So once you all are done with your shopping, all you'll have to do is meet me nearby the Eternal Lightway. There's actually an inn right nearby to promote convenience for people that are traveling to or from.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you.
All right. As he takes a small bow and then walks to the front and begins to chat with the person at the desk, seeming to infer that he's going to be paying for all of it. And as you all walk out, you notice that it has transitioned to later in the day at this point.
So it's less bright, but still bright.
Yeah, so the sky is less bright, but everything around you is still bright as you wander the streets of the city here as Lensokria. All right. And as you all wander out, beginning to look for different shops. What is anybody looking for anything specific? I know Gilgamesh had mentioned something about clothing before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Gilgamesh would probably take a gander at some of the clothing options around here. See what the latest fashion trends have been showing here.
All right. So Gilgamesh, you actually come across a store here in Lensokria that does seem to be fashioned towards clothing.
Uh-huh.
So, as you see, as it's just the grand banner above highest heavens wear is displayed proudly above.
Oh, he audibly sighs for everyone. Oh, them naming conventions were always so hoity-toity. It could have been called something much less gaudy.
And Gilgamesh, as you walk into the store, you see as the store owner greets you immediately. Hello, welcome to Highest Heavens Wear. Is there anything that I can dress you with here? As he looks to you, Gilgamesh, and looks behind you. Oh, there are certainly a lot of you in various different sizes. Is there something in particular you were looking for?
Oh, I was looking for your finest footwear. What do you have in stock?
Footwear? Well, my good sir, we do have a couple different options. Is there something that would pique your interest? Color, shape, etc.?
Well, trying to go, of course, functionality and fashion, if I may. Kind of looking to match my outfit as he shows the predominantly green outfit that he's wearing.
Well, we can certainly get something together for you here. As he looks back and looks towards all of the shoes that he has behind the counter. Well, we do have this lovely green boot that you might enjoy wearing. As he pushes them forward, and they seem to be relatively, probably mid-range for you. Nothing too flashy, but, nothing too drab either.
Okay, yes. This starts to fit my taste. He starts to just very casually try to see if, I guess, if what, like, I guess the rest of the goblins are also just kind of ransacking, just kind of looking around, not being too disrespectful, but like, they do be goblins. And so, Gilgamesh kind of calls over Roxanne and is like, "Oh, Roxanne, could you please help with this boot?" And it's a massive, like, all the way up to the knee boot. And it's like all completely whatchamacallit, it's like a bunch of delaces and whatnot.
Ah, I see. Well, we could certainly should be able to custom fashion one of these for you. All it would take was a few pieces of silver.
Well, few pieces. How much precisely?
Oh, we
You
could
can't
probably
just
do
say
it
a few.
for. He looks. I'd say 4 silver would be a good price for it.
Or silver. Mhm. Do you have anything more magical, perchance? I mean,
Nothing.
or silver.
Nothing of the boot variety, I'm afraid, but I suppose I do have a couple specialty items here, hanging on the rack.
Ooh, well, if I do, I don't mind if I could take a couple of those specialty looks.
Well, certainly. Let me show you real quick. As he takes and kind of shows a robe from the first rack. This here is a very wonderful robe. It's said to be actually quite good for one's inner peace.
Inner peace, you say?
Indeed.
And if I may... Actually, does Gilgamesh have... Oh! Ooh! Ooh! What's the price point on that one?
Well, I could sell it to you for a solid 10 gold.
Only 10 gold! Oh, you insult me, and he hands over 10 gold.
Well, here you are, good sir. I'm sure it will look wonderful on you as he hands it to you.
Oh, don't even try to say it wouldn't look good. It would look absolutely dashing, I know. As he puts it on immediately.
And Gilgamesh, this robe looks pretty dang good. And again, you can actually feel as there seems to be a little bit of an effect to you.
Ooh, I'm feeling smarter already. Little pizzazz.
The only other item I have here is, as he goes to the second rack, as he's unveiled this little scarf with little angular patterns on it.
Oh.
It said the scarf actually makes people move with a little more quickness to them.
Oh, and how much is that?
It's also 10 gold.
Oh, you truly flatter me. Of course I'll take it.
All right, you can add the scarf of swiftness to your inventory as well.
Only 20 gold. Only 20 gold.
Does he have any more of those?
Scarves of swiftness?
Yes.
Let's see.
I think we all want one.
Sadly, he only seems to have the one.
Oh, what a pity.
We have a lot of melee builds.
Hey, I'm a melee build too.
I know you do. That's why I'm not complaining. I just want more.
We want more.
Well, not to worry, as it turns out there are item shops around the game. It also drops. And also, you can only have one thing equipped into each slot, so...
I can also increase everybody else's speed, but good luck trying to get Keita to do that for you, bud.
So, is this scarf and the robe all a part of the same, I guess, what's the word? Wear area. The same body area for wearables.
No, the scarf's a separate. The scarf's the neck accessory.
Perfect. Amazing. So now Gilgamesh just runs 35.
Yeah, scarf.
Speedy.
Scarf. I'm trying to do
Scarf.
tags on these. I'm trying to be better with my labeling.
Ooh.
All right, and he kind of shrugs. Well, if those are both going to be yours, then I suppose I'm fresh out of anything that would be above the common item. But if any of the rest of you would like any sort of clothing, I could sell it to you at a good price.
Gilgamesh kind of looks at the rest of his goblin entourage. Would you be able to get them scarves as well?
Oh,
Just so that we all match. Harold he just kind of like nods. Roxanne, nobody could see because of the goggles, absolutely rolling their eyes. And Denny is honestly probably just wiping like a booger onto one of the clothes. When he thinks nobody's looking. When he thinks.
yes, I suppose I could get them each a scarf. Be 1 silver per, considering size and amount of fabric.
Oh, would you be able to just throw those in with the items I've already bought? I mean, I've already bought 20 gold worth. I mean,
Go and
trying
roll
to
me a
drop down
persuasion check.
denominations. Well, let's do persuasion. Oh shit. Well, it's a 16.
16, alright. As he looks to you, I suppose you have spent quite a bit of gold at this establishment. Sure, take the scarves with him.
Excellent. Thank you. We absolutely adore your business here. Well, be sure to come back when we come around these parts.
Oh, certainly. I look forward to it.
And then Gilgamesh, happy as a clam, does leave. He ski diddly daddles.
All right. Do any of the rest of you want clothing, or would you like to move on to the next shop here?
I have $5.
20 gold wasn't that much for Gilgamesh
I
either.
thought you all had 50 gold to the party.
For the party.
Oh shit, Gilgamesh could have just used that.
No, Gilgamesh.
He would not.
And
How
if
else
Gilgamesh
do you-
used all the money, then there would be a swift cat scratch across the Gilgamesh's face.
And that is why Kita is holding the party money.
All
I've
right.
been voluntold, and I am keeping it safe.
I held the party money. I'm trustworthy too.
I don't think
I
anyone
believe
in this
you.
party is very trustworthy.
Hey now. All right.
Kita has the most honest face.
That's true.
Eh. That's
What
probably
are
not wrong.
hiding emotions? That's not a thing.
Sorry.
See, but I don't know if that means they're better with money. That means they just might lose it or forget it. It's not necessarily going to steal the money.
Just shoves all the money in her bra, like, try to get it out, buddy.
As you all make it over to the next shop, Ashiel kind of getting a head start on them. You actually walk into this shop that seems to be kind of some sort of, well, you check the sign out. It says Wensokria Armory. So as you go in to kind of check out the situation inside and see what they got.
Yeah, she'll do a cursory look. Not what she's looking for, but we'll just take a quick look because sometimes items can be in the armory rather than another store.
Indeed. As the fellow that's kind of behind the counter looks to be some sort of dragonborn, and it turns around. Hello there. What can I, as he kind of tells the look to your side, what can I get for you?
I'm not sure. What do you offer here?
We offer quite a few things. Are you looking for weapons, looking for armor, looking for maybe staves? Maybe as he kind of tilts a couple more times. Are you maybe a magic person?
I don't know why, but that just sounds offensive.
She'll
You're a
kind of,
magic person, Harry.
yeah, tilts her head, and if he's perceptive, like the eyes kind of like the flames in them dance a little bit of like she's smiling,
Hmm.
but he can't see her mouth. So it's if he's perceptive enough to see the flames dance in her eyes.
He gotta look see for a second. Just nods, looks around. Oh, I suppose we could start with the weapons if you wanted to, unless you do have something in mind.
I am more magically inclined. Is there a shop around here that has more of the items I'm looking for?
Magic type stuff. Well, I've got a couple things here. As he takes out a couple rather basic looking staves. Oh, and that's right, this one back here, as he takes out, looks to be kind of a more intricate looking design. Yeah, this one is probably pretty decent. Yeah, usually healers use it, but I mean, even if you're not a healer, it should be useful.
She kind of chuckles.
Healing magic has never been my forte. Actually, out of curiosity, what kind of light armor do you have?
Light armor. Oh, were you interested in like a shield or?
No, just a little extra protection.
And yeah, some of the her leather jacket's in pretty good shape, but like you can see some slashes where and it's a little singed in a couple places from where she got hit earlier.
All right, yeah.
Looking for a little extra protection.
Right, I suppose that makes sense. So you said light armor, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that we could get that sorted out for you. Let me see. As he looks towards the back, kind of moves a couple pieces, looking to be heavier armors, looking towards you, kind of shaking his head a little bit. I assume you're not looking for anything super heavy, are you?
As light as possible.
Understandable. Let's see. Well, I do have a rather basic armor back here, if that'll suit your needs.
What kind?
What kind of? Well, it's just a simple metal plate here.
Oh, that's a little much for me.
I'm sure that we would be able to make something lighter if you wanted.
I tend to stick to leathers.
Well, it's hard to say. I don't know how much leather we have, but I know for a fact that either Shinesvale or Brythus probably has some good options.
Okay. Do you know if there's an arcane shop in town that might have books or literary texts?
I wish that we had one in this town, but that'll also be something you'll probably find more in Shinesvale than anything.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much. If I'll make sure my traveling companions are aware your shop is here.
Oh, why, thank you. I appreciate it. How many companions do you have with you?
Ashio's gonna start counting on her fingers.
Wait. Count? Wait. A lot.
Oh, well, I certainly appreciate it.
Okay, wait, there's 6 plus 3 entourage.
I think there's 10 of us total.
Oh, goodness.
3 of them don't fight, though. I don't know. They're someone's lackeys.
I see. As the rest of the party, you're kind of making your way to the other shop, and you do take a peek in and see Shield's in here. chatting up this guy.
Ashiel will kind of wave and then like point at the armors if anyone's interested.
I'll step in.
All right. As you step in, Ferris, Dragonman looks to you. Is there anything I can help you with? I'm sadly couldn't help your friend here, but I do recommend checking out the Shinesville shop as well. We work fairly closely, but don't really compete in the same markets.
Oh, I see. Do you happen to work at all in enchanting items?
Enchanting? Not a terrible amount, but is there something you're looking for?
Oh. Picked something up that I found earlier, and was wondering if I could alter an enchantment.
Oh, alteration? I'm not really sure if I can do
Basically,
that.
Keep it doing what it's doing, but flip the coin over, if you will.
I see. Well, can't do it myself, but here. As he writes down a note. Yes, perfect. I've got a friend of mine that lives out in the capital city. They might be able to help you out.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
All right, and you can go and add that note to your inventory. Would you like to peek at it first?
Sure.
All right, you read the note, and it seems to have some kind of address on it, in addition to a name.
What's the name?
Don't worry. Let me determine that real quick.
I didn't know if you were teasing one. If you weren't, then no worries.
No. Yeah, I will have the name. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
You
No
suddenly come down with dyslexia. Unfortunate.
I don't want it to be something that's like phoned in. I want it to actually be a good NPC name.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
I'll edit it in post. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Galen's enchantments.
Yeah, look out. Exactly. Don't worry.
We need to see our Boblin. We need him.
But yeah, basically, dude who seems to be specializing in counter enchantment. All right, and it wouldn't be a name for you anyway. But I will get it to y'all in Discord, and we'll recap with the next session.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, excellent.
In case I missed it, for the so you have like the soothing staff. What is the slots in it referred to?
Oh, that's an excellent question. If you wouldn't mind taking a look at the new thing you have available to you, the feature and tag index.
Okay.
Okay, elemental gem. Okay.
So are the features the different tags it can have, or tags are like the different type of things?
So the tags are things you can use to like search in the search bar to be able to pull up certain items. Because as you all go through the shops and see them, you'll be able to see all of these items.
Okay.
Just have a good idea of what exists out there. So like if you're looking for a sword, you're like, oh, I kind of want to buy a sword from somewhere. Or what kind of sword options are there like for common swords?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we able to dual wield staffs in your game?
You can certainly try.
I don't like that answer.
You should though. Trust me, if I'm not saying no, that's usually something that can be fun.
I don't know if I like that answer either.
I'm tempted about the soothing staff just because that's like almost 10% of my HP every time I cast a spell.
Yeah, if I didn't already have like a specialized spell focus, I would be tempted, but mine's already a thing.
Is it any spell, including cantrips?
Correct.
It doesn't specify. Oh. How much did he say that was?
As he looks to you, well, that's 10 gold, sir.
10 gold? Oh, I have 10 gold, right? How much money do I
Everything
have? I
is
forget.
Just out of reach.
Yeah, I will definitely get myself a soothing staff then.
All right.
Man, what
Yeah,
can my
feeling good.
breastplate do? It cost me like 400.
I mean, it's very protective.
Is this like an item we can add in, or do we still need to make it in Roll20? I'm not sure what.
As far as what?
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. It's just, I'm about to say, I show it to all of you, and then for my own tracking purposes, I usually add it individually to the inventory that it belongs to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I know for I did D&D Beyond for a bit, and the items you could just like drag over and drop them into your inventory.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot that's not a thing Roll20 does. So I don't think, unless it's one of the new things, because they've changed a lot of stuff recently.
I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I can also, by the time next session rolls around, I can sort them into like little folders for y'all.
You can, but it has to come from the compendium already coded into
Yeah.
20.
But you can't make your own.
No.
Wait, I can't make my own for the compendium? This is bullshit.
Unless they change that. I know you can do like do micros to do a lot of stuff. You might be able to do it with that.
Oh, macros? Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
I haven't done a macro for items though in Roll20, so I don't know.
All right, yeah.
Actually, wait. Important question.
What's up?
Does the staff magically change size based on the holder?
Or is the
That's
staff
very
wielding
important.
you?
Yes.
Considering it's a magic staff, yes, I can change. You can change sizes for
Out-
you.
Outstanding. I just want to verify because that very hardly limits what I can use.
You're already going to be mechanically limited on certain things. I'm not going to make you also be limited on certain items.
Okay. Oh yeah. There's a lot of appropriate things. Like I'm not gonna have a shield. Actually, no. I should have a shield, and I'll just be behind it the whole battle. It's just full cover. Just.
You're just under it.
What's with this flying
Yeah.
shield?
I turtle with a shield. It just moves across the ground slowly. You can't target me.
I just looks to you.
I
Full
mean,
cover. Auto success deck saves. Come at me.
screw the shield, just carry around a turtle shell.
Yeah.
As he
Be a
just
turtle.
as he looks to you. Well, thank you for your patronage. Is there anything else that I could interest you all in?
Any cool magical items that you have?
Oh, I suppose I do have one other key one that isn't quite as common. We've actually got the safety shield.
The safety shield.
Indeed, makes you be able to be physically more resilient in addition to being a good shield.
Not my cup of tea. I don't typically wield things like that.
How much is that one?
10 gold, sir.
Alright.
Yeah. Is the robe of resistance also 10 gold?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do you
And
need
my-
me to spot you some cash, Ferris?
Uh, We'll keep looking around. I'll let you know if something really catches my eye that I can't do without.
Fair enough.
Right on
Are
then.
these
Appreciate the-
attunement
Appreciate the offer
items?
though.
I will say if it does not specify attunement, then no.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I've got quite a few items
Can we
back
wear
here.
multiple robes?
No.
No. It's like Baldur's Gate. You have one clothing slot for each
Yes.
thing.
There.
Let's
like,
see.
not a human. What if I just wear like 6 layers? You know, be really warm and puffy.
I've got a short sword here. Got myself a rapier that I'd be willing to part with. Got a nice mace here. Standard shield if you're looking for something a little less fancy than the safety shield there. And then I got this beauty as he takes out this wide-looking sword. It's a defender blade.
-2. Ooh. That's cool.
Is that 1d6
What kind
a -2?
That's right.
That's toxic.
+1 AC.
From a weapon.
Hmm.
And if you dual wielded them,
Yeah.
and then took the dual wielder feat,
Yeah.
Or just had a shield and a normal weapon.
yeah, but that's fewer steps and therefore not as good.
That is true. That is true.
or you get a +1 shield.
Fit there.
Yeah, but that's like
I mean, that's
cheating.
a cool
So
shield.
Yeah, +1 items don't exist.
Curses. Oops. Sorry, Mabel.
Poor Maple getting bullied.
No, she's getting attention. I just messed up on throwing a ball.
If you're getting bullied, you're not giving her enough because you're the ball.
But yeah, as he just kind of tells us, well, that's all my stock, so if you'd like to have any of these, all these basic ones, as he kind of points to each of the things. Really, aside from the defender blade and the safety shield, everything else can be parted with for just a gold.
Damn, we have more money and you made everything cheaper. This, I don't know what to do. No, you're de-rationalizing my entire character.
I told you I wanted to fix the economy. Trust me, you will still get plenty of value, I assure you.
You're supposed to fix it after I make a trope character to mess with the mechanic.
But Ashio will look to Ferris. Anything catch your eye?
Still looking. I appreciate the offer.
It's not like I don't know where to find you.
That's right. I'm usually easy to find.
Arriving just after the lightning Ganazi.
Did somebody?
But
Sorry, I was distracted by my cat.
Ashio will kind of nod her head at the proprietor of the establishment.
Thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
And,
Come by
we'll head out.
anytime. All right, and if nobody else wants to buy anything, at least not at the current moment, we can go ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other cool stores in this city?
As you look around, there doesn't seem to be anything else that's particularly eye-catching. As at this point, if none of y'all want to buy anything, you can go ahead and make our way to the inn here.
Woohoo!
All right. So you all, now having your day of shopping behind you here, make your way to the inn, and the innkeeper kind of lights up with a smile as you show up. Quite literally, actually, as they're a light genasi. You know, welcome. Lord Mirigan had come by and talked about you all. Will you be staying the night?
Yes.
Well, if he's been talking about us, then I suppose we will.
Well, we'll certainly cover you for this night if you're a guest of his. So, please, feel free to get comfortable.
Then we are definitely guests of his.
Let's have another smile. Let me know if you need anything, any sort of food or drink, or any extra pillows or whatnot. We want to make sure that you're as comfortable as possible.
Thank you very much.
All right, and as you all kind of find different ways. Oh gosh, I made myself too comfortable by talking about the inn. Well, I'm going to sleep. But you all just find different ways of making yourself comfy here.
Ashiel, before going to bed, would be curious, given the description of the dagger of severance.
Hmm.
So once she's tucked away into her room for the night, she'll pull her dagger that she had stashed, and we'll slice just one of her fingers to see if it has any particular effect on her.
Are you slashing it with the Grand Severance dagger?
Yeah, the dagger of severance. Yes. She's curious if there's an extra effect on her or not.
All right.
Given that she is an oddity.
The ironic
Immediately
thing
dies.
is, Ferris was thinking of doing the same thing.
Ashiel, you feel as you cut across your finger there. After a brief moment, you can just feel just this racking pain begin to afflict you. As you could just, you could see as the blood is coming out of the cut, but you almost feel as there's something more there. As I'm gonna go ahead and have you roll me 1d10. All right. And as you cut into it, you feel as the world just begins to fade around you, as you see just colors and elements just blazing flame around you, just shocking lightning. And you just hear in your mind, there's no escape from us, Ishile. As you feel as it fades away and you're back in your room.
Pats has siblings.
Bro, I was about to say that. I was like, why am I speaking to you? Pats is just in his hammock. He's asleep. He's like, "Arr," in the corner.
Well, I suppose that answers that.
And I will tuck the blade away for further experimentation later.
All right. And as you kind of feeling a little bit of just a sting from that. Anything else anyone else is doing?
Oh, fuck it. Ferris is gonna do the same test.
Ferris is gonna sit in his room
Here he is.
and take the knife. Are you just running it across your finger, doing a slight cut?
Not the fingers. He uses those.
Fair.
It'll be kind of just the back of the left arm.
Okay. So yeah, take out and you just like look at your hand and just take the knife and just cut it across your shoulder, kind of brace it for something bad. But go ahead and what is your passive perception?
My passive.
Yeah.
15.
15. Okay, so you would notice. So you cut into your arm and you don't feel any pain aside from just the cut. But you do hear for a brief moment silence. And then once you've removed the knife, it returns. That just echoing song way back in the back of your head.
Well, that's curious.
Anything else for you, Ferris, as you kind of patch the wound a little bit just to make sure it doesn't drip on anything?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Anyone else doing anything before bed?
Not really.
All right. Hearing no complaints here. The
Oh no, Pats has a whole list of them. I sent him his notebook.
The innkeeper goes around and checks in to make sure that everybody is doing well, has appropriate amenities, comforts, etc. And goes to each of your rooms. Now, I'm kind of curious, like, have you all decided to take individual rooms to yourselves, or are you kind of bunking the same rooms together?
I don't take up much space. Ball.
Go sit in the corner of someone's room.
Yep.
Gilgamesh has his own room.
Fair. Really, you all could in this scenario. I mean, again, the rooms are, you're being treated by a white.
If everyone else has their own room, Pats will have his own room.
I don't know. I take up a lot of room, so.
I would assume Wombry would like have his own pillow and blanket, like a dog bed kind of situation in a Shiel's room.
It feels like his own room.
Literally.
Yes. I have a dollhouse I summon.
He's under the nightstand that has like a freaking tablecloth over it or something. So like that's his room with a pillow in there for the bed. And
how big of an item can I make? Can I just summon a house for myself? I think it's a medium item is what I can do. All these freaking tabs of items open. Go away.
But yeah, a Shield would have her own room so that she can like take off all of her wrappings without like eyes.
She doesn't have eyes? No.
You have special eyes.
Nah, she takes off her eyes.
Oh yeah, I am going to use my performance of creation and burn a 2nd level spell slot to summon a very lavish house that is 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet.
So
That's probably bigger than the inn room.
Oh, that's why it said lavish. This is like a 5-story house for me. It is way overkill. I have a kitchen, I have multiple rooms. I have like a pool in one of the floors.
Okay, is this in your own room then? You're not sharing with a Shield?
No, this is in the same room. It's just a 10-foot cube, about a 10-foot size house, like inside the room. It's got my own little theater in it.
Again, an in-size room is probably a 10 by 10 room. So if can yours be like a 5 by 5?
Okay, I would make it so it fits appropriately. It's the size of a bed. Okay.
This is the Mojo Dojo.
With like a golf course in the front. So it's like a 5 by 5 house with like a golf course and a swimming pool out front.
So I am cool bunking with people.
You're welcome to chill in my cool digs. So it might be a little small, but
I thought I was a little too big, remember?
just wait till we start getting reduced spells and other items. We don't need to wait for Magnificent Mansion. We're just
I'll shrink down into your magnificent box.
Yes.
That came out wrong.
We can start now.
Love when all the magic fades and we all just are stuck.
Be a battle strategy. We just erupt out of his house.
We ship ourselves cross country to surprise enemies.
You've heard of the Trojan horse. Well,
Trojan dollhouse.
I'm the worst.
Yeah, dollhouse.
I love that for you. That you've created a Barbie dream house in the middle of the.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, it's a one brew dream house.
I'll be your Ken.
You are enough.
All right, and as expected, Wanbury creating shenanigans.
Wanbury is comfortable while traveling.
Is there anything else for anyone before you all decide to sleep?
Nope, not for
Um,
Gilgamesh. He'll just have the beak.
Pats would
lavish
probably
sleep.
Pats would be preparing traveling snacks.
Oh,
but
yummy.
That wouldn't take too long.
I was about to ask, can we smell the preparation of snacks, and can we steal midnight snacks?
Door is locked.
But we can smell what the Pats is cooking.
Hmm.
Pat?
Yeah, what you want?
Whatever you're making smells good.
It does, yeah, I agree.
Is midnight snacking an option?
Patience. Patience is a virtue.
Damn it.
We're having this conversation through the locked door.
Yep. All the light zone people being like, gosh, where do these people learn their manners?
All right. Well, if that's all everybody wants to do, then we can go and have folks all get themselves some well-deserved rest here. And as you all lay down, you all begin to get yourselves a very peaceful respite. And as your minds begin to wander a bit, you all just think back to the fights of of this day. And Kita, you find that your mind wanders a little further than it usually does. Dancing to the tune of the dancing to the tune of that interesting song that seems to have showed up in the back of your head when you began to focus. It really is a lovely, just kind of has a lovely tempo to it, melody. And as your mind dances to it, so too does your heart. I find yourself dancing away at the song, but still hearing just the slight anomaly to it. That something is ever so slightly off, like a metronome that skips just a single small amount of its movement every few beats.
Percussionist is following the band instead of the band following the percussionist.
Exactly. And as
My
you could
drummer would never.
And as you continue to hear this, you feel as the beat continues to shift, so too do you feel yourself begin to shift. As
Interesting.
you feel as more and more the tempo continues to become more and more off. And then as you dance on, you feel in one moment, you fall to the ground. And you look at your hands, and they are no longer charged.
Wait, what?
And as you look behind you, you see what seems to be also you, but made completely of this lightning essence.
Please tell me it's a dream and it's not residual effects from the frickin' stab.
You're not sure. as you see as from behind this lightning figure you see in front of you, a hooded figure, large in stature, appears. And as they draw a blade from their side, you see as they cleave straight through the lightning in front of you, dispersing it into elemental essence. And as
I'm gonna scream at him.
all right, and as he walks towards you, you screaming at him, he goes and draws the sword once again, swinging towards you. And in that moment, you awaken in a somewhat cold sweat in your bed.
I knew it. No me gusta. No, yeah, she very much does the like, like gasping, shifts her whole body up kind of thing. She takes a second to breathe and look around the entire room, making sure that she is indeed in a safe space and just in her head, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was an ominous, right? Oh, fuck.
I figured, but I'm gonna roll with.
Love
I'm gonna roll with being naive to it. I think she would be.
Dang, you're really, imagination. There we go. Words are hard.
And as you get yourself back to sleep, Kita, able to kind of claim the last few hours of sleep as you waking up in the middle of the night here, somewhere early in the morning. You all manage to awaken once again in this inn. And as you do, that's where we're going to end our session for the night. We'll pick back up as you all rejoin Mirigan for the journey on the Eternal Lightway to Shine's Vale and beyond.